Yo guys, Guru here, and today I am back with another video on the channel. Today we're going to be moving away from the Empire series and focusing on a much more popular game, Football Manager on the PC and other devices. A very popular game. Football Manager 16 is due to come out toward the back end of 2015, around the same time as FIFA, maybe a bit later until October and November. And already people are making new databases. This is Football Manager 15. People are making databases with all the new transfer updates and things like this, all the new players transfer to different clubs and whatever. So this is just a little 10 teams to look out for if you're going to buy Football Manager 16. These are 10 teams that I would recommend going. I'll be doing one team at a time, and you can probably see the title of the video and the team I'm on right now, that is Southampton. Before we start, just wanted to let you know they play in the Euro Cup as they do in real life, which is quite good for your team as well. It's nice to be managing a squad playing in European competition. But anyway, let's look at their team. So obviously, with the departures of Schneiderlin and Klein, Southampton gained some more money and invested that back in the transfer market, with signing a few players such as Jordi Clase, who isn't as good as Morgan Schneiderlin, but at the age of 23 and 5 caps for Netherlands, with 12 under 21 caps and some nice stats here. Just to let you know about my stats threshold, anything 15 or over it's blue, anything 10 or over is yellow, and you don't need to worry about anything else than that. So you can see very consistent. I can only see I can see 5 out of all these stats greys. So he's quite a good replacement for Schneiderlin, not as class right now, but if you play with him for a few years and you don't let him go to a different team or whatever, he can turn out to be quite a very good signing. The next signing that they made was Stephen Colker on loan from Sunderland. They didn't sell any centre backs this year, but I do like Colker, and at Southampton, which are one of my favourite teams in the Premier League, I do like to see my favourite player sign off my favourite teams. Moving on down the list, they signed Cedric as a replacement for Klein. I've not really had a look at Cedric, but has some nice stats here. Could be quite a good player for them. Hopefully he is, and we'll see more of him in the coming season. Moving on to the next signing that they made, which was Juanmi, a striker for Spain. As you can see, not as many blues, but still, 21 years old. He can be developed as well, and does have some things like, technique, determination, acceleration, agility. So he's good for a striker. He's a bit small, so he could sort of develop into a pacey striker. Moving on to the next signing that they made, Martin Stekelenburg on loan at Fulham. He was actually on loan at Monaco last season. Didn't really hear much from the French league, but Stekelenburg I do rate as a goalkeeper. He did play quite well for Fulham when they were in the Premier League before they got relegated, and he's sort of a new signing because Foster's going to be injured for a bit because he suffered that injury toward the end of last season. So he's a signing, basically a loan signing for the whole year, but he's just going to cover until Foster comes back, and maybe if Foster doesn't hit his form again, as Stekelenburg does, he can maybe keep that spot. And moving on to their last signing, which is Cuco Martina. Doesn't look the best, not worth that much money. 6 appearances. I didn't really see why they bought him, but just thought, a bit versatile. If you go to, it doesn't actually tell me in here, but it says at the top, if you look up the top, it says he's basically a right back, centre back, or a right wing back. So that's quite good, and he doesn't look that bad. He could be to job in some championship teams with a few yellows, but most 11 12s and only one, which is 15 for agility. So I don't really see him being used that much this season, but that's just Football Manager. In real life he could be an absolutely great player. So that's basically it. Yeah, I'm just going to have a look at some more of their good players here. So if you look at the top, we've got Dusan Tadic, great for them last season. Rodriguez coming back from injury. Mane, who's very good for them. Shane Long's a great super sub. Pella, great. Ward-Prowse, really good youngster. Bertrand, a really good choice left back. Forster injured but a good keeper. Davis, I like him as a centre midfielder. He's a very, very good midfielder. Playing some experience all the way 10 years ago in 28 games for Aston Villa. So that's really good to see. Premier Division experience and a very consistent player. Cedric with a new signing. Gardosh, didn't see much of him last season, but he's injured at the start of this anyway. Yoshida, don't really rate him as a centre back. Fonte, absolutely great player. Talked about Juanmi. Target, a young player through their academy. Read, another young player. Mayuka, I'd sell him if you're going to do this, because he really isn't a good player in my opinion. Maybe loan him out to a championship team, but I mean, another thing just before we go, Southampton are a great team to know because they've rich finances and their youth team, the youth system they have, you've heard about it, you know, Chamberlain, Walcott, Bale, Lallana, Shaw, all these great players coming through the youth ranks, and maybe you could make one if you go to Football Manager 16 and buy it. I would definitely recommend getting it. It's a wonderful game to play if you can stick to one save and play it, and one of the teams that would recommend starting your long save with is definitely Southampton. So that's going to wrap it up for this video, guys. Hopefully you have enjoyed this, and if you have any suggestions for any other teams that I should look at, any other ideas, any other ideas to do Football Manager 15, then just let me know, and I will see you guys next time in this series for the second team of who I would recommend you go. So until next time, I will see you guys later.